I'm Nicolene Peck, and I teach self-government, parenting, communication all over the world. In this video, I'm going to be answering the question, why is social media bad for kids? So what do you think? Do you think that social media is bad for kids, or are you still trying to make up your mind? Well, no matter where you happen to be on this particular debate, I want to share with you why I know social media is bad for kids. Because it is. It hurts them. It actually disconnects them instead of connecting them. I don't know if you've noticed how many young people are trying to do things online. I mean, Instagram and TikTok and these different social media platforms are just teeming with young people who are trying to get noticed. In fact, I happened to be talking to a young person recently, and she said to me, well, I'm starting to make these little videos all the time because I'm just bored. I don't have anything to do. I don't have anybody to talk to. But the thing is when she's making the videos, she's not really talking to anyone. She's not really curing any of her boredom, and she's incredibly shy. This young person, she doesn't have the very best of social skills anyway. And so you can see that her involvement in all of this social media is actually not helping her. This is not uncommon. In fact, as a person who talks with children, youth, and parents all over the world, I have noticed that the social skills in the young people are actually decreasing, not increasing, as they are using more and more social media. So that's a really important thing to note. In fact, the more and more we reach out digitally for our social, the less our social needs are fulfilled. We're humans. We need people. We need to feel people, touch people, look eye to eye with people, and have communications with them that are spontaneous instead of planned out. Do you realize that in social media, everything is pre-planned? It's image-based. This means that a person who is engaged in too much social media could begin to feel very uncomfortable or not confident with having just a regular off-the-cuff conversation with a person, because they might not feel like they're going to come across perfect enough. But in the social media world, it looks like that they do. In fact, even when people are venting all of their problems and promoting depression and anxiety and everything else that's happening on there, there still is this feeling of, if I don't have a problem like everybody else, I'm not good enough. Everyone is trying to be the same so that they can identify with each other, where in reality, nobody is being authentically themselves. Everyone's selling some idea or persona of who they are. This is very unhealthy for the confidence of our young people. Speaking of anxiety, anxiety has been directly linked to social media behaviors. People are starting to gain their worth and their sense of value and bravery from their interactions online. So we know that people are experiencing increased amounts of anxiety in these days. So let's put the pieces together. What is happening in these days that is different than when I was a child, when there wasn't that much anxiety? I mean, there might have been a bit, but hardly any of my friends had anxiety or would ever label themselves as having anxiety. In fact, there was this feeling like, well, you just get strong and you overcome your problems. You don't let things hold you down and tear you down. Well, why now? What has changed now? Well, there's of course a lot of digital and media input into our lives right now, but one of the biggest changes is social media and the amount of time that people are putting into social media and gaming as well. And we know that gaming is bringing in its own version of social media all the time, where they're creating networks of people in the gaming world as well. And this also hurts people. People say awful things on social media, things things that are bullying, I mean, truly terrorizing some people. We know cyberbullying is on the rise. Why in the world are the children still being pushed in that direction? In fact, I've seen church leaders and youth groups and people pushing the children towards social media even more. Social media is okay if a person has self-government. My children do not get social media accounts until they are adults and until they have proper self-government. If they can give themselves a no answer and not be on there too much. Because social media can control you. Have you ever had one of those times where you thought, I'm going to go in and check on this thing? And then you go into your social media, you get lost in your homepage, and then you start commenting on somebody's so-and-so. You're there for like an hour and a half, and you get out and go, wait a minute, I'm pretty sure I didn't do what I thought I was going to do. What was I going to do when I went into there? That can happen to anybody. That is control. Control of our lives, control of our time, control of our emotions potentially, depending on whose post we're reading and what's there. Okay, so we know social media is bad for our children. So why do we keep using it? Why do we keep allowing it? Put your comments below. I would like to see why you think social media is still being promoted to children and is still happening. One of the main reasons that people cite for allowing their children to be on social media is they say, well, then they'd have no other way to contact their friends or be in communication with their peers at school, and they'll feel so lonely, they'll be so left out, and they're so sad if they aren't part of social media. Well, let's look at that. Why are they sad if they can't be on a device in a virtual platform talking to people in a pre-planned way? Does that even make sense? The answer lies in the display of the problem. If they become so sad or depressed, threaten suicide, whatever it happens to be, then this tells you that they have an addiction. So many parents don't want to disappoint their children. They don't want their children to have emotional problems. So instead they promote an addiction. They allow an addiction that is ultimately going to lead to self-destruction in some way. Whether it's their level of happiness or connection or hurt relationships in the future, whatever it happens to be, they're willing to allow it because of the fear of some other mental or psychological problem or some threat, which could be a manipulation, that the child presents at the parent. Now, I know none of us want our children to become suicidal or have problems with depression or things like that. Those are real problems. They're concerning problems. They're definitely on the rise. In fact, that's another reason that social media should be definitely looked at with a hard magnifying glass, because that's another thing that is leading kids down those roads. But our children need to be protected. Who's going to protect them? The social media platforms are not going to protect them. And we know that. I know that personally because many parents have come to me and said, my children have got into following this person who does suicide pacts and this person who talks about all this dark stuff. They've now left our faith. They've left our morals. They're saying stuff that is absolutely outlandish. They're not even focused on reality anymore because of these groups that they're in online. Is it worth it? Is there sadness because they couldn't be on it for a while, or their disconnection from a few online peers? Is it worth it? I would say it's not worth it. Let them overcome their sadness. Let them learn to accept a no answer. They need that. That's one of the 4 basic skills for a happy, self-governed person, is that they can accept a no answer. They can not do something they want to do because it's right. Can your child learn that skill? I hope so. Social media can be a very dangerous place. I've known of multiple families whose children have almost been trafficked because they've met people in gaming chat rooms or on social media platforms. This is a real risk. Literally risks their entire lives. Is disappointing a child so bad? What does it mean to be a parent anyway? A good parent, a strong parent, is not afraid of disappointing a child if it's for their good. A self-governed parent knows that having a child accept a no answer is healthy, not hurtful. So we need to teach our children the skills they need for success, including the skill accepting no answers. And we can give these no answers with love and understanding. We can talk to them about what's really happening online with social media. Have you done your research? I hope you have. Parents who do their research on what really is happening on social media and share it with their children can prepare their children not to fall into traps on social media, and can also have more fuel when they explain to their children why it has to be a no answer for now. If you are going to give your child a no answer for social media, you're going to have to fill that void or that hole with something. So what are you going to fill it with? Yourself. You're going to fill it with real people having real experiences. You're going to have parties at your house with friends. You are going to take your child on trips. You're going to go on walks with your child. You're going to talk with them. You're going to cook with them. You're going to work with them. You are going to be the social. Do you know that your child needs your social more than they need the social media aspect of life? We don't learn social, well, the good social. We don't learn good social from same age peers or from the media. If you want to properly train a child socially, then they need to learn that social from you, because you have experiences. You've been there. You have more wisdom, hopefully. They need your social training, your social interaction, and then they will be empowered to stand strong and have confidence in their future. If you have enjoyed this video, I'm pretty sure you will like the free class that I'm giving to everybody on my YouTube channel. And that free class is called The Expectation Trap versus the Cycle for Success. And you will learn how your expectations might be trapping you and some of the skills or changes that you can make in your day to improve your connection with your children and other people, and the things that they can do to improve their connection with you as well. It's going to get into some of the skills that you will need for success and for self-government. I highly recommend clicking on The Expectation Trap versus the Cycle for Success now.